Can I ask you something? It's a question I've heard whispered in my office from so many wonderful women over the years. Have you ever looked in the mirror, maybe at a beautiful dress you once loved, and thought to yourself, that's not for me anymore. I'm past that age. That little voice of self-doubt. It feels harmless, doesn't it? But after 30 years as a family physician, I have seen exactly what that voice can do. It doesn't just make you put a dress back in the closet. Oh. It makes you put a part of yourself back in the closet. It's the very first step towards feeling invisible, towards shying away from social events. And that, my friends, is a genuine threat to our long-term happiness and our mental well-being. But I'm here to tell you with absolute certainty, one of the most powerful prescriptions I've ever seen for boosting a woman's spirit. Well, it doesn't come in a bottle. It comes on a hanger. And today, we're talking about the Maxi dress. I'm not just talking about theory. I'll never forget my patient, Margaret. A retired teacher, sharp as a tack, but she'd completely lost her spark. She confided in me, Dr. Miller, I just feel like I'm fading away. I didn't prescribe a new medication. Instead, I challenged her to buy just one beautiful, comfortable Maxi dress, and to wear it to her next book club meeting. The transformation that followed, it wasn't about the dress. It was about her reclaiming her presence. So in this video, we are going through a complete, step-by-step blueprint to help you choose and style a maxi dress in a way that celebrates your body, honors your wisdom, and makes you feel absolutely radiant. This is about style as a form of self-care. And please, be sure to stay with me until the very end. I'm going to share the single most common mistake I see women make. And here's the thing. It has almost nothing to do with the dress itself, but everything to do with how you feel. Avoiding it can instantly change how you carry yourself. So, before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us have felt this. If what I just shared feels familiar, please, just take a moment and comment a simple yes below. It's not for me. It's for each other. So we all know we're not alone in this feeling. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's start with the very foundation of our conversation today. We'll begin with our first main section, the timeless power of the maxi dress. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. A maxi dress. Isn't that just a trend? Something for the younger generation, perhaps? Many people see it as just another piece of clothing, without understanding the profound psychological value it holds, especially for us as we navigate life beyond 60. The truth is, its power has very little to do with fashion and everything to do with freedom. Psychologists have a fascinating name for the connection between our clothes and our minds. It's called enclothed cognition. It's a simple idea, really, but a powerful one. It means that what we wear directly affects our mood, our posture, and our confidence. A flowing garment, like a well-chosen maxi dress, sends a subconscious signal to our brain. A signal to relax, to move more gracefully, to take up space. It communicates ease. Now, think about the opposite. Think of clothing that is restrictive. A tight waistband, a stiff collar, pants that bind at the knees. These things send signals, too. Signals of tension, of confinement, of slight, constant discomfort. This brings me to the core reason why this is so critical for us now. After decades of living with structure, rules, and perhaps even uniforms or restrictive professional wear, our bodies and our spirits are craving freedom. They are not craving restriction. The maxi dress doesn't demand that your body fit into a perfect mold. Instead, it drapes and flows with the body you have today. It celebrates femininity without demanding perfection. This connects directly to a symptom so many of my patients describe, though they often can't pinpoint the cause. It's a feeling of low-grade irritability, of being constantly fidgety or uncomfortable in their own skin. They spend their day pulling at a hem, adjusting a tight shoulder, or just feeling constricted. That constant, nagging discomfort can color your entire day, making you feel agitated for reasons you can't quite name. The opposite of that, the feeling of health and peace in this context, is the beautiful sensation of forgetting what you're wearing altogether. It's the freedom of moving through your day focused on your life, not on your clothes. I saw this firsthand, so clearly, with a patient of mine I'll call Susan. Susan was a lovely woman, a retired accountant who always wore very stiff, structured slacks and button-down shirts. It was her uniform for 40 years. And she walked with a certain rigidity that mirrored her clothes. During one of our talks, we discussed this very idea of enclothed cognition. A few weeks later, she came in for a follow-up, and the change was remarkable. She was wearing a simple, soft, jersey-knit maxi dress. But it was more than that. Her entire posture had changed. Her shoulders were relaxed. She seemed to breathe deeper, to smile more easily. She told me, "Dr. Miller, I feel like I've finally exhaled after holding my breath for years." So, I want you to embrace the maxi dress not as a passing trend, but as a powerful tool for your well-being. See it as an ally in your quest for comfort and confidence. It's a conscious choice to wrap yourself in ease, rather than in restriction. It is a statement that says, "I have earned the right to be comfortable." If you agree that comfort is the new luxury, that it's a right we've all earned, I'd love for you to comment comfort below. It's a wonderful way to affirm this for yourself and for everyone else in our community. Alright, that brings us to our second, and perhaps most important, section. Let's talk about honoring your body today. One of the most common traps I see women fall into as they age is this constant, exhausting battle with their own bodies. There's a tendency to either fight against or try to hide the natural changes that come with time, and this internal struggle almost always leads to choosing the wrong clothes, which, in turn, just makes us feel worse. It's a painful cycle. From a medical perspective, let's be very clear. Our bodies tell the story of our lives. A softer middle that might have come from raising children. Skin that has seen more sun from years of gardening and living. Shoulders that are a bit more rounded from a lifetime of work and leaning in to listen to others. These are not flaws. Please hear me when I say this. These are markers of a life well lived. And from a pure health perspective, fighting these natural changes with restrictive clothing is entirely counterproductive. It creates physical stress and, more importantly, emotional distress. The core reason this happens, the root of this issue, is a deep-seated fear of getting old. This fear pushes us into two extremes. The first is the woman who insists on wearing clothes that are too tight, as if to prove to the world, and to herself, that she can still fit into a certain size. The second is the woman who does the opposite, hiding herself in oversized, formless garments, hoping to become invisible. Both approaches, though they come from a place of insecurity, sadly have the same result. They strip away a woman's natural elegance and grace. This directly connects to a symptom I hear about constantly, a pervasive feeling of self-consciousness. It's that nagging feeling of always needing to adjust your clothing, of pulling down a shirt, of sucking in your stomach, of worrying about how you look from behind. It's exhausting. It prevents you from being present in the moment. The opposite of this, the feeling of true well-being, is when you find clothing that fits so well, that honors your body so perfectly, that you completely forget you're wearing it. That is the goal. To be so comfortable and confident that your focus is on the conversation you're having, the grandchild you're hugging, the life you are living. I have seen this happen hundreds of times in my practice. A woman who finally finds the right silhouette for her shape doesn't just look better, she feels better. I'm thinking of a patient. Let's call her Eleanor. She has a pear-shaped body, and for years she tried to hide her hips under bulky, shapeless sweaters. She always seemed apologetic in her posture. We talked about finding clothes that framed her, rather than hid her. She found an A-line maxi dress, one that fit her well on top and flowed gracefully away from her hips. The next time I saw her, her energy had completely shifted. She stood taller. She made more eye contact. She wasn't fighting her body anymore. She was celebrating it. So, this is my prescription for you. It's a simple, two-part action. Number 1. Stop fighting. Number 2. Start framing. Your goal is to choose a silhouette that works with your beautiful body, right now, not against it. And the rules are wonderfully simple. If you are smaller on top with fuller hips, like Eleanor, an A-line or an empire waist dress will create beautiful balance. If you carry more of your weight around the middle, a wrap-style dress or one with a V-neck is your best friend, as it draws the eye upward and creates a lovely line. If you have a straighter, more athletic frame, a belt is a magical tool to add definition. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about letting the real you shine through. Okay, Now that we understand how to choose a silhouette that honors our body, let's move on to our third section. And this, my friends, is a secret that many of the most stylish women know instinctively. The secret is in the fabric. Here is a very common problem I see. A woman will find a dress in a color she absolutely loves, with a cut that looks perfect on the hanger. But after wearing it for just an hour, she feels miserable. And she can't figure out why. The secret, almost always, is the fabric. Choosing the wrong material doesn't just make a dress look inexpensive. It can genuinely make you feel physically unwell, especially with the changes our skin goes through. Let me explain this from a medical, or more specifically, a dermatological standpoint. As we get older, our skin naturally becomes thinner, a little drier, and much more sensitive. It doesn't regulate temperature as efficiently as it used to. Now, when you take stiff synthetic fabrics like many common polyesters, fabrics that don't breathe, and you place them against this sensitive skin, you create a kind of trap. The fabric traps heat and moisture, which can lead to irritation, itchiness, and that awful, clammy feeling. So please understand, this is not just an issue of looking good. It is an issue of your physical well-being and comfort throughout the day. The core reason we make this mistake is simple. We often shop with our eyes first. We get so focused on a beautiful pattern or a vibrant color that we completely forget to ask the most important question. How will this feel against my skin for the next 4, 5, or 6 hours? This directly leads to a very relatable symptom, a feeling of physical restlessness. Have you ever been sitting somewhere, perhaps in church or at a restaurant, and you just can't get comfortable? Do you feel a persistent, low-grade itchiness, or do you find yourself sweating even though the room is cool? That is often your body having a negative reaction to the fabric it's wrapped in. The opposite of that, the feeling of health and ease, is when a fabric is so soft and breathable that it feels like a gentle hug. It brings a sense of calm and allows you to be fully present, instead of being distracted by discomfort. I'm reminded of a patient of mine, a wonderful woman named Barbara. Barbara absolutely loves dressing up for her weekly bridge club. She bought a new dress, a beautiful sapphire blue, but it was made from a shiny, stiff synthetic satin. She told me the story. She said, "Dr. Miller, I felt so beautiful for the first 10 minutes. But by the time we were playing the second hand of cards, I was miserable. I was hot, I was itchy, and I was fidgeting in my chair the whole afternoon." The very dress that was supposed to bring her joy and confidence was actively stealing it from her. The next week, she wore an older, much simpler dress made of a soft modal blend. And she felt serene, confident, and completely at ease all afternoon. It really is like choosing bed sheets. You would never intentionally choose scratchy, cheap sheets for a good night's sleep, would you? Of course not. Because you know you'd toss and turn all night. So why would we do that for the clothes we have to live in all day long? From now on, I want you to think of fabrics like nutrition for your skin. So, here is your new, simple rule. It's a call to action for your own well-being. If it does not feel good on your skin, it does not belong in your closet. Period. When you shop, prioritize fabrics that are kind to your skin. Look for breathable cottons, elegant linen, comfortable jersey knits, and silky soft modal or viscose blends. And be sure to steer clear of those stiff polyesters and unforgiving, shiny synthetics that don't move with you. This was a revelation for me years ago, and I hope it is for you, too. If you learned something new right there, something that just clicked for you, take a moment and comment "wow" below. So, we now have a dress that honors our body shape and is made from a fabric that feels wonderful on our skin. This brings us to a crucial bridge we have to cross, which is our fourth section. We are going to talk about styling for your life. Now, here is a deeply problematic belief that I hear all the time in my practice. A patient will tell me, "Oh, Dr. Miller, I have nowhere special to go. Why would I need a nice dress?" This is the kind of thinking that quietly chips away at our joy. It's the idea that dressing well is something we do only for special occasions, or that a single dress is only for a single purpose. This mindset can be surprisingly damaging. From a psychological and a neurological perspective, staying engaged with life is one of the most critical things we can do for our long-term health. Meeting friends for lunch, going to church or your local community center, visiting your grandkids. These activities are not frivolous. They are essential for our mental health and for keeping our brains sharp. Your wardrobe, then, should be a tool that supports this active, engaged life. It should never be a barrier that holds you back. The core reason we fall into this trap is often a habit built over a lifetime. We create rigid categories in our minds. These are the good clothes for going out, and these are the at-home clothes for everything else. We fail to see the beautiful, versatile potential that lies in a well-chosen piece of clothing. This mindset has a very real and relatable symptom: hesitation. It's that moment when a friend calls with a last-minute invitation for coffee, and your first thought is, "Oh, but I have nothing to wear." A wardrobe that lacks flexibility can lead to social inertia. It makes it easier to say no to spontaneous opportunities for connection. On the other hand, a versatile wardrobe, one where a single dress can be adapted for many situations, empowers you to say yes to life. It removes a significant barrier to staying active and involved. I can tell you from decades of observation that my most vibrant, energetic, and mentally sharp patients are the ones who find joy in dressing for the everyday. They are the ones who understand that the very same simple, cotton maxi dress they wear to the grocery store can be completely transformed for a lovely dinner out with just a quick change of shoes and a nice necklace. They don't wait for a special occasion. They make the everyday feel a little more special. So, let me show you the wonderfully simple formula to prove how versatile one good maxi dress can be. This is your call to action. I want you to start seeing your clothes not as single-purpose items, but as a flexible toolkit for your life. Let's break it down for 3 common occasions. First, for casual daytime. Think about meeting a friend for coffee, running your errands, or just taking a pleasant walk in the park. Here, you take your comfortable cotton or jersey maxi dress and pair it with simple, flat sandals or even a clean pair of slip-on sneakers. Add a practical crossbody bag to keep your hands free. Maybe a sun hat. The goal is effortless, approachable elegance. Next, for an evening out. Let's say you're going to a nice restaurant or a local theater performance. You take that same dress. But now, you swap the flat sandals for a pair of elegant wedges or low block heels to give you a little lift. You add one piece of statement jewelry, perhaps a beautiful necklace or some lovely earrings. And you trade the practical daytime bag for a small, structured clutch. Instantly, the entire mood of the outfit is elevated. And finally, for a special celebration. A family birthday, an anniversary, or a daytime wedding. Again, we start with that same dress. But this time, you might add a beautiful silk or pashmina shawl draped over your shoulders. You could add some classic pearl jewelry. The low heels still work perfectly. The dress becomes a graceful backdrop for these more refined, elegant accessories. One dress, 3 completely different looks. It's not about owning more clothes. It's about understanding the power of simple, thoughtful styling. We've come so far. We have the right silhouette, the right fabric, and we understand how to adapt our dress for any occasion. Now we arrive at the final, polishing touch. This is what separates a nice outfit from a truly elegant one. Let's talk about our 5th and final section. The art of accessorizing. The most common problem I see when it comes to accessories is a swing between 2 extremes. On one side, there's the woman who wears no accessories at all, and her outfit feels a little unfinished. On the other side, there's the woman who wears too many: a necklace, large earrings, bracelets, and a scarf all at once. This can overwhelm her beautiful dress and, more importantly, overwhelm her. Both extremes take away from the goal, which is effortless elegance. From a simple visual psychology perspective, this makes perfect sense. Our eyes are naturally drawn to a focal point. When you wear too many competing accessories, you create what I call visual chaos. The eye doesn't know where to land, so it just bounces around. This can feel distracting and even a little jarring to the person you're speaking with. But when you choose just one beautiful, well-placed piece, like a lovely scarf that brings out the color of your eyes, or a statement necklace, you create a single, clear focal point. And where does that focal point usually lead? It draws attention right up to your face, to your smile. It actually encourages human connection. The core reason we struggle with this is often a simple lack of confidence. We're not sure about the rules of accessorizing, so we either give up entirely or overcompensate by putting on everything we think looks nice. There's a deep-seated uncertainty that can be paralyzing. This leads directly to a very relatable symptom. When your accessories are mismatched or overwhelming, you feel not quite right. You feel messy, or what people often call not put together. You might find yourself fidgeting with a necklace that's the wrong length, or feeling that your earrings are competing with your bright, patterned dress. The opposite of this, the feeling of serene confidence, is when your accessories feel so harmonious with your outfit that they feel like a natural extension of you. They complete the picture, rather than complicate it. You look and, more importantly, you feel polished and intentional. I always tell my patients to think of it like setting a beautiful dinner table. When you have guests over, you don't put out every single piece of silverware you own for every course, do you? Of course not. That would be confusing and cluttered. You choose the right fork for the salad, the right spoon for the soup. Each piece has a clear and elegant purpose. It's the same with your jewelry and accessories. Each piece should have a purpose. So, here is your simple, actionable solution. I want you to adopt what I call the one point of focus rule. It is the golden rule of accessorizing with elegance. Let me break it down. First, if your dress has a high neckline or a busy, vibrant pattern, let the dress be the star. In this case, your one point of focus should be a beautiful pair of statement earrings. Skip the necklace entirely. Second, if your dress is a solid color with a simple, open neckline like a V-neck or a scoop neck, that's the perfect canvas for your one point of focus to be a statement necklace. When you do that, keep your earrings very small and simple, or wear none at all. And finally, never underestimate the power of a simple belt. On a flowing, solid color maxi dress, a tasteful leather belt can be your one point of focus, creating a beautiful shape and adding a touch of polish. In that case, keep all your other jewelry minimal. One point of focus. That's all you need to remember. If you believe, as I do, that true elegance is found in these thoughtful little details, please take a moment to comment elegance below. It's a wonderful affirmation of this timeless principle. So, as we bring our conversation to a close, I want to return to where we started, with my patient, Margaret. The retired teacher felt like she was fading away. I saw her just a few weeks ago, sitting on the patio of a local cafe, laughing with her friends. She was wearing a beautiful, simple blue maxi dress, and she just looked radiant. She saw me and waved me over. And when I went to say hello, she pulled me aside for a moment and said something I will never forget. She said, "Dr. Miller, that dress, it reminded me who I was." And I realized then, so clearly, she wasn't just wearing a dress. She was wearing her confidence. She was wearing her joy. And that is the key lesson for all of us today. This conversation was never really about a piece of clothing. It's about permitting yourself. Permission to be seen. Permission to be comfortable. And permission to celebrate the incredible, wise, and beautiful woman you are right now. Style at our age is not about looking younger. It is about feeling more fully ourselves. As we wrap up, we've journeyed through quite a bit today, from silhouettes to fabrics to the art of the final touch. But as I always say, knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you. A small piece of homework, or maybe a promise to yourself. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself after watching this video? It could be as simple as, I promise to try a belt with a dress I already own. Or, my commitment is to stand a little taller in front of the mirror tomorrow morning. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Your words, no matter how simple, will inspire someone else here to take that first brave step. Let's create a chain of encouragement for each other. And if you found real value and inspiration in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another conversation full of life-affirming wisdom, please hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a wonderful community of friends, all dedicated to living our best lives together. Finally, I'd ask you to think of just one person, one friend, one sister, one neighbor, who might really need to hear this message today. And please, share it with them. You truly never know whose life you might touch. Thank you for spending this precious time with me. Stay healthy, stay vibrant, and I look forward to seeing you in our next conversation.